Welcome back, guys, to Trails from Zero, where last episode we finished up the Chapter 4 Day 2 City Patrol with the IBC in Harbour District and walked to Hayway's building. Finding it riddled with bullet holes, we entered to speak to Sao Lee as Detective Dudley left, with the SSS able to get the information the police needed where the Division 1 leader couldn't. Lloyd then decided to head right into Ravash's base once more to ask for their side of the story, encountering the killing bear outside before Grace dropped on by, pulling us into a bar to share some information before we were interrupted by a call from Mayor Bickson, who had come to Crossbell to find Gantz himself, who is now acting erratically within the casino. What's going on at the casino then? Oh, you came! Please be Adios. Hurry, I think a fight is about to break out. Where is Gantz right now? Ah, yes. He's in the VIP room, which has now lost its barricade. He's in the middle of a private match in the back room. We don't have time to waste. Gantz could blow at any second. Huh? I thought Gantz was the one provoking his opponents. Uh-oh. Eat this, punk. Okay. 9, 10, Jack, Queen, and King. Straight flush of diamonds, baby. Gotta beat this hand. You can. Are you kidding me? Wasn't expecting you to pull out a hand that strong in our last round. This is my true talent. I'd won too many games using those tricky hands of yours. That's coming to an end. You've lost now, so show me your hand already. What are you talking about? I never said anything about losing. Are you kidding me? So we got a royal flush then, yeah? The only way you'd be able to beat me is with a royal flush. There's no way you could have. And that's where you're wrong, pal. That's not right. You've got a joker. You can't have that. What? A 5 of a kind? With aces, no less. Can't believe what I've seen today. Depends on the game whether a royal flush or a 5 of a kind is the highest possible hand. But either way, it's clear this hand of mine takes that straight flush of yours and flushes it straight down the drain. Were you playing a different game, Lecter? Why is there a joker in this deck? You! Don't screw me, you damn cheat! Straight, you're his accomplice, aren't you? Well, screw you too. I assure you, I have nothing of the sort. I swear upon Adios' name. How did Joker end up in the deck then, Drake? During my careful observation of the match, I saw nothing to suggest Mr. Arunda was cheating. Can it? How the hell am I supposed to buy that crap? I'm with Gantz. I don't believe I don't believe the honor of this establishment at all, considering the poker I played. I've got luck and intuition on my side. I'm supposed to be unstoppable. There's no way I can lose to this jackass. Has he lifted him up off the ground? Sir, please calm yourself. He's right. You gotta relax, man. Poker's just a game of luck after all. All this means, pal, is that your luck has run out. Ooh. I refuse to believe this crap. Gambling should be a piece of cake after using that stuff. Gantz. Oh no. There's no way in hell I could lose. Let go of me, damn it. You have to calm down, Gantz. What's with this insane strength? Gantz, stop this madness. Well, these are my favorite pals. How's it hanging? I don't really think this is the time, Lecter. How can one man be so suspicious? I am almost impressed. Well, this guy's quite the character. An acquaintance of yours. Sorta. Not like we know squat about him, though. Whoa, hold the phone. A 5 of a kind versus a straight flush. Will that even happen here? It was a real nail-biter, Randy. I was on the verge of losing the shirt off my back. I can barely keep up with this. At least we were able to neutralize the threat before anyone was hurt. Let me go, damn it! Let me go! I can't lose, I can't lose! After further protest and shouting, Gantz became overwhelmingly exhausted and passed out. Due to his condition, the Special Support Section decided to carry him to his hotel room. Oh goddess, how could such a thing have happened? He may not be the hardest worker, but he was always a kind man. There's not a soul in mines who dislikes him. Mayor Bickson, I don't know what to say. For a nice guy, he sure was pretty violent for a second there. Hell, I wasn't expecting to take both me and Lloyd to hold him down. Yeah, I can believe how ridiculously strong he was. Listen, guys, this is just the old reporter's intuition talking, but, you think the guy could have been on some kind of drug? You know, the real serious kind? But, pardon me? Drugs? You serious? Judging by their silence, I think Lloyd and Tio seem to agree with me. Agree is a strong word. I don't want to say anything without proof, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's preposterous. Gantz on drugs. I refuse to believe it. He's just an ordinary down-to-earth miner. There's no way he'd ever use such... Sorry, sir, but hasn't it been almost half a month since he arrived in Crossbell City? Keep in mind that he earned quite a bit of mirror during his stay too. Can you say for certain that he couldn't have taken advantage of that wealth? I won't stand for this slander. You mentioned that you're a Crossbell Times journalist, correct? Know that if you write some libel piece based on pure speculation, I will lead Mines and his people in protest. Whoa, cool your heels. I wasn't planning on writing an article on this anyway. Would you do us a favor, Mayor Bickson? I'd like to go through Gantz's personal belongings, if that's alright with you. You too? I don't intend to imply anything, sir. There are too many coincidences piling up here. His sudden violence, that inhuman strength, the complete change in personality. All of these aspects are eerily similar to past cases. And in Gantz's case, we also saw an absurd development in his gambling skills. Might be because he took some stimulants to boost his perception or something. I'd explain that freakish intuition of his. His perception was cranked up to inhuman levels. He'd have no trouble reading people. It is entirely possible. I can only speculate that if I were to gamble, I would have an unfair advantage over others as well. Tio. Sorry, Tio Top. You know I didn't mean it like that. I'm aware. Do not worry. Mayor Bickson, I understand you wish to keep Mr. Gantz's reputation intact. However, please envision the scenario where he is, in fact, consuming drugs. If the situation were to remain unhandled, it could pose a threat to himself and others. That may be, but... I can think of a bunch of possible side effects that might crop up. Same here. That's exactly what we need to be scared of. Very well. I fear I may not have thought things through well enough. Go ahead, Lloyd. Thank you, sir. Lloyd carefully examined Gantz's pockets, making sure not to wake him up in the process. This is what I was afraid of. Received the blue pills. Pills? Goddess, no! So we really had some after all. Pretty shade of blue, but what the heck is it? We can't rule out the possibility of this harmless medicine yet. Maybe he has some kind of chronic disease we don't know about. Did he ever mention anything like that, sir? Not that I'm aware of, no. I cannot say for sure, though. Interesting. Would you mind if we hung on to these pills for now? Please do. Listen, I beg you, do not spread this around for Gantz's sake. Of course, sir. We'll make sure to take his reputation into consideration. Also, could we leave him with you? Yes, I'll take care of him. I'll try to speak with him once he wakes up. Thanks, we appreciate it. So now we have suspicions of an illegal drug circulating throughout Crossbell. Definitely didn't see that one coming. Really? I would have thought the mafia was big into the drug trade. The contrary, actually. Illegal drugs hardly ever show up in Crossbell. Drugs are messy business, you know. One misstep and they'll spread to neighboring countries like the plague. I've heard the First Division monitors them closely, thanks to pressure from Erebonia and Calvard. So I guess Ravash is smart enough to read the room on that one. Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, they made sure to cover that back at the police academy. Still, something about these pills. I've never seen pills like this before. The colour certainly is pretty, but... Yeah, they're pretty sure, but they're also suspicious as hell. They designed to look like Sepith? Tio, do you recognise them? No, I'm sorry, I think it was just my imagination. More importantly, what do you plan to do with the pills, Lloyd? Good question. I think in this case there's too much for us to handle alone. But now, let's go talk with the chief. Yes, he may not know what to do. While we're at it, we should give our report on the Hayaway raid. We got mafias going to war with each other and maybe some illegal drugs now too. I get the feeling that things are about to get pretty busy around here. You can bet on it. You know, it's only been about 4 months since we first met, but you guys have grown a lot since then. Really brings a tear to my eye. Grace? Where's all this coming from? Flattery won't get you any more information from us. No, I'm serious. I've got some pretty high hopes for you guys now. Almost as high as the ones I had for your brother, Lloyd. Speaking of Guy, I never got a straight answer out of you. Grace, did you know my brother? Oh yeah, back when I was still a newbie at the CNS. He helped me out more times than I can count. Sometimes I think that even though he's not with us anymore, and his case has gone cold,
At least there was a team built at the CPD to carry on his will.
What?
What do you mean, Grace? Oopsie, Sergey might get angry at me if I say too much. Anyway, I've got an event to cover, so I'm gonna have to head out. Oh, and I won't write any articles about the drug stuff, as tempting as it is. Bye-bye, everyone. The SSS
is a dying man's dream? Dead man would be the actual correct tense. Why does she get off dangling info like that in front of us and then just walking away?
Another addition to the pile of things we have to think about. So it seems. Are you concerned about what she told us, Lloyd?
Oh well. Even if it does have to do with Guy, I don't really have time to think about it right now. The Hayway raid, Ravash's current situation, and now these blue pills. We have a lot on our plate. But now let's put aside what Grace told us and ask the chief how we should proceed.
Understood. Hopefully he has some ideas for us.
Alright then, let's head on home. A cold case, eh? So, it could be that we revive it? It looks like he's totally unconscious. I think it's a side effect of the drug. It's too early for us to make a call. I apologize, I'm having difficulty maintaining my composure. It's okay, sir. Gantz is not the type of person who would get involved with drugs. I don't know if those pills are an illegal substance. If they truly are, then I'll track down whoever's responsible for distributing them and make them pay. Trust Gantz's well-being to me. I'll ask for him for information on his circumstances when he wakes up. I'm just praying those pills are nothing more than medication. Yes, we usually keep medication in a plastic baggie. That's usually where we store our medication. Okay, so your dialogue hasn't changed, which hints that patrol hasn't changed. By the way, randomly during that whole sequence, I suddenly went, I didn't check out somewhere. I can't believe I haven't, but I didn't. I actually walked straight past Nine Valley after talking about the tea material, if I'm right in saying.
You know what? I know that I'm in safe hands if we're ever attacked. Mum's already used to that sort of thing. She'd be able to wipe them all out easy.
Was she? What kind of store is this? Are there traps?
You know, Mama ran a store in a conflict zone before I was born. She'd always tell me about this crazy firefight she'd have with her customers.
Yeah, I missed Nine Valley again. What the hell's going on? So yeah, we still need a tea material. We have no clue what that is or where to get it. Damn it, now they've gone and done it. That Chow guy. Chow now, yeah, sure. Chow. Guy will pull something crazy. There'll be riots in the streets. Please don't say something so ominous. Yeah, last thing we want to do is speak that out into the world.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you possibly have any information that might assist us in our investigation?
Nope, I've got nothing for you. My money's on the Ravash goons being behind that raid. I'm not an information broker, so I don't really give a flying rat's ass about all that stuff. You'd be better off asking them yourselves. Still, though, poor Garcia must be having a hard time these days. He has a lot more grey hairs ever since joining Ravash. Yeah, I missed here. It just suddenly came to my head like, oh, I skipped it. I don't know why, but I did. Right, where are we supposed to go next? Because I was so, like, in my brain, like, blue pills? Funny jokes. As well. And we moved on to Mayor's request again now. It's getting a bit crazy, isn't it? At least that one's complete. Let's return to the SSS and report to Chief Sergey. Sure, let's do that. Good old Zeit. Where is he, though? He was in the kitchen before. She's really getting to putting away the dishes. Dialogue change there. Hello, Chief. You guys are back pretty late. Interrogating Hayway really take that long? No, actually, we may have just stumbled into another case. I'll give you the details along with what we found about the Hayway raid. Chief? Sorry, was it all too convoluted after all? No, that's not it. It's just this series of events. I'm starting to think that it might all be connected. You do? Seriously? What makes you think that? I know a lot has gone down in the last day or two, but I want you to try to connect the dots. Especially you, Lloyd. We're really going to need those detective skills of yours here.
Sure, leave it to me.
Today, we were able to discover roughly 3 pieces of key evidence. The information we heard from Chow about the raid on Hayaway, the intel we exchanged with Grace about the current state of Ravache, and everything we learned about Gantz, the miner from Mines.
So there has to be something that ties the 3 things together, right?
I think I'm starting to see what you're saying here. But now let's talk through what we know. Which element of the info regarding the raid on Hayaway can be tied to the others? The assailant's physical abilities? Hayaway reinforcements? What? Information's relation to Kia? Well, okay, you've not even given us 2 opposing choices that were anywhere near correct. The assailant's physical abilities. Everyone is getting a weird strength buff. Dino beat up people that he shouldn't be able to beat up. The second in command of his gang. Look at Gantz chucked the guy across the room, and the guy was an ex-mafia, if I'm right in saying. He's old, sure. Which element of the info regarding Ravache can be tied to the others? Don Marconi's actions? Did we get anything about that? Investment in warhounds? No. So again, it's just like 2 bad choices and probably the right one. The haphazard chain of command. I'm assuming it refers to the fact that, of course, this is done by a small faction of Ravache that is, of course, attacking other places. Could they also be saying that that is where the distribution is coming from? To be honest, we know. We did see a thing that was saying, like, the distribution will begin and all that. But it's going to be haphazard chain of command because it's the only one relatively relevant. Which element of the info regarding Gantz can be tied to the others? When he disappeared from Mines, poker match against Lecter at the casino. It's going to be the blue pills in Gantz's possession, otherwise they wouldn't have just seen them. This has to be it. Related elements. Assailant's physical abilities, haphazard chain of command, and blue pills in Gantz's possession. You think these factors overlap? They're definitely suspicious, that's for sure. I think so, Ellie. If we take a closer look, we can see certain things linking the cases. The boost of strength displayed by the mafiosos who raided Hayaway. Gantz and his spontaneous gambling skills. They may seem independent of each other, but they both deal with the sudden enhancement of their abilities. What's the point Gantz chucked a guy across the room? Now, suppose we say the connecting factor in all of this are these blue pills. The mafia must have started involving themselves with these illegal drugs in some way. Not just to sell to the public either. Vache's henchmen must be using the drugs themselves. Is that the general idea, Lloyd? Yeah, more or less. In the end, it's still just another theory. However, that would certainly explain a lot. In that case, maybe the reason Garcia's authority over Ravache has started to wane is all thanks to their grunts taking this drug. Once they're all juiced up, they don't need to listen to him anymore. Things are starting to make a lot of sense. More to the point, I've actually seen that if we assume that Dino is, of course, taking them, he's got other symptoms, they don't seem to care about chain of command anymore. They actually seem to actively be challenging it. Things are starting to make a lot of sense. Nicely put, everyone. By the way, remember the rumors Ian told us about yesterday? Of course, the trader and that stockbroker. Could those 2 be under the pill's influence as well? Who can say? At this point, there's nothing more than pure speculation. However, things are beginning to come together piece by piece. You feel the same way, don't you? Yes. But if I'm being honest, I don't think the special support section will be able to handle a case of this size. Might even need to call in the 1st Division for support, given that the incidents revolve around the distribution of illegal drugs. Funny you should say that, Lloyd. Your timing could be better. Huh?
Oh, I found you.
What's wrong, Kia? Are you getting hungry?
Nope, not yet. We have a visitor. He's a super grumpy old man. His forehead's all wrinkly.
Grumpy? Pardon me?
Oh, Detective Dudley.
You're late. Apologies, Sergey. Investigation meeting ran a bit long. If this is about the same thing we discussed earlier, do you mind if we go ahead and begin? Sounds good to me. Before we get started, I'll need you to fill them in too, though. I don't have the time for your jokes, Sergey. This isn't something rookies should know about, and actually, I think the information they found will end up being pretty useful to you and your investigation. In fact, involving them will save you some time in the long run. Are you out of your mind? And again, I did leave the Hayway investigation to the special support section. Maybe I can fill them in just No, it's simply not.
Chief, if this is a bad time, we can step out for now.
That won't be necessary. They don't call Dudley the ace of the First Division for nothing, after all. I'm sure he realizes what he needs in a situation like this. Fine. Listen up. The information I'm about to disclose is strictly confidential. It does not leave this room, otherwise there will be consequences. Got it? Yeah, that won't be a problem.
Oh, is this a secret? I love secrets. Tell me too. Well, I'll make you a snack here. Why don't you go eat it with Zite?
The First Division is being pressured. Well, it's not quite as simple as that, Bannings. After the raid on Hayaway, we received orders to devote all our resources to quell any disputes between the mafias. Because of that, we had to end our investigation on a mysterious drug we've been looking into recently.
Really? The First Division was investigating the blue pills too.
We only started looking into them a few days ago. Frankly, I'm surprised you even know about them at all. How exactly did the First Division find out about the drugs in the first place? We were tipped off about them by a long-time informant of ours. She'd been a pretty reliable source, so we started gathering more info based on her tip. But we weren't able to find anything more concrete than rumors and urban legends. I mean, a miracle pill that can grant wishes and bestow happiness certainly sounds like fiction to me. However, it was apparent that something shady was going on, so we were compiling a list of citizens that seemed to be connected, and... What are those looks for? It's almost like you expected everything I just said. Seems like our little theories earlier were spot on. Show him, Lloyd.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Take a look at this, detective. What? Are these what I think they are?
We found them on a certain individual during our investigation today. We were allowed to keep them on the condition that we protect their identity.
Lloyd explained to Dudley in great detail what had transpired earlier. Damn it all, so it is real. You're saying that it's possible that Ravash is the distributor. Dudley, about the order to stop the drug investigation. Any idea who made the call? That would have been someone high up. Our chief didn't agree with the decision, but he enforced it regardless. What a mess.
Hey, hold on a moment. Does that mean someone high on the CPD's chain of command gave in to the mafia's demands?
That's unbelievable. Come on, how low can you go?
The situation appears quite grave.
Hey, Dudley. It's clear you came to me because you don't trust the top brass at HQ. So what is it you're planning to do? To be honest, there's nothing those of us in the First can even do about the drug investigation now. If any of us were to take action, our bosses would do whatever they could to interfere. But as a member of the police, I just can't let this go. Detective Dudley. Well, there's an easy solution for that. Leave the investigation to the Special Support Section. Lloyd, Ellie, Randy, Tio. Listen up, guys. From here on out, the SSS will be unofficially collaborating with the First Division. Since their hands are tied, you four will take over the drug investigation for them.
Yes, sir. Understood.
And in return, we'll get every last bit of intel the First Division has about Ravash. Sound fair? Sergey, what are you... Every bit of intel? You know there are some classified files that I just can't share no matter what. Every last scrap. Take it or leave it, Dudley. You're stuck in a deadlock and you know it. We're gonna keep doing what we want regardless, but you don't really have any options here. Damn. Fine. I accept your conditions. Glad we could come to an agreement. Well, so now we're the ones taking cases away from the First Division, huh?
I can already feel a sense of superiority welling up inside of me.
Yikes.
Comment retracted.
Suppose I really don't have any other options. Alright, I've turned the drug investigation over to you now. So, how do you actually plan to proceed?
About that, we already have the drug itself in our hands. The next logical step is to figure out what exactly it's made of.
Not a bad start, but how will you go about doing that? Based on what we know, we can assume this is an entirely new type of drug. It'll likely be too much for the forensic tools at HQ to handle. That and there's a risk of being noticed by the higher-ups. That's a shame. But in that case, we might be able to ask the medical college for help. I think we know just the guy to talk to, Lloyd? The medical college? You mean St. Ursula?
Right, we know a doctor there who specializes in pharmaceutical research, actually. I've heard he's one of the best in his field. There's a good chance he'll be able to figure out the drug's composition.
Well, alright then. That might just be our best option given the circumstances. Dudley, Can we get you to compile the First Division's intel and send a report to us by the end of the day? I want them to decide how to approach the investigation for themselves. Understood. I'll send it over as soon as I can. Well then, I should go. Thank you for your cooperation, Sergey. Likewise. Oh, and aren't you going to thank them too? Listen well, you four. If you do anything stupid, this entire situation might nosedive. Understand? Your task is looking into these drugs, and only that. Dealing with the mafias is the First Division's responsibility. Stay close to the ground, behave, and most importantly, don't get in our way. Thanks. Sheesh, is that really that hard to say thanks for doing my work for me?
Perhaps under that tremendous scowl of his, he is simply shy at heart. Maybe so. Also, it seems he has a stronger sense of justice than I first thought.
Yeah, I think we can trust him. Most of the First Division's just like him. Diligent as all hell and driven by that same strong sense of justice. Though by the same token, a lot of them are extremely by the book. Makes them inflexible and obstinate. So you're going to head to St. Ursula right away? Yeah, that's the plan. Though I'd like to take care of some support requests too, if time permits.
That's right, we didn't have the chance to go outside the city all morning.
Guess things are about to get busy. Probably best we just tackle things one at a time. Glad to see you guys are still up for the challenge. Now, I know we're cooperating with the First Division, but don't get too worked up over that. Just do things as you usually do. Show me you're capable of cracking the mystery behind these drugs. Yes, sir.
Support requests, eh?
When you got one, so there must be more. St. Ursula Medical College, huh? This doctor you mentioned. That's the guy who looked into Kia's amnesia, right? Yes, sir. Dr. Joachim Gunther, an associate professor of pharmacology and neurology at St. Ursula. When we last spoke, it was clear that he knew his stuff when it came to medicine and drugs. Well then, he should be reliable for this kind of thing, but... Chief, is something bothering you? You could say that. Strength, speed, concentration, and intuition. Supposedly those are the kinds of qualities the drug is able to augment. But is it able to increase your luck?
Well, I'm not sure about that. Rationally speaking, you would think that would be impossible. But how else would you explain Gantz's miraculous luck at the casino?
Yeah, gambling's a tricky thing. Intuition and strategy will only take you so far. Before long, luck always shows up as an element. That begs the question, was he in Lady Luck's good graces or devil's clutches? Sounds like there's still a few more mysteries to be solved. Tio, if you're up to the task, I want you to look into that for me as thoroughly as you can.
Very well, that was my intention anyway.
Why is he asking only Tio?
Perhaps he knows something we don't.
So you'll have that professor at the medical college take a look at the drug. And in the meantime, I just leave the First Division to do their jobs. You know what they're doing, so I'm sure they'll deliver. Just do your own thing for now. You know, like you've always done. Sure. Asking only Tio.
Poor tired. Where's Kia gone?
I guess there might be another patrol incoming. There is 2 new requests. There is search for an important person on a short with Representative Campbell. I want to meet privately. I'm looking for someone important to me. Come at once. Now we can go to the Campbell estate. And flowers for fallen friends, which is on a medium. I'm looking for some special flowers to place on some graves. For details, come to the cabin next to the graveyard behind Crossbell Cathedral. They're essentially the same location. And of course, Thingy is still on a long, which is good. Stay on a long. A medium should last at least 1 story event, as I understand it, right?
Oh, guys, you have to leave again.
Sorry, Kia, we've got something to take care of. We'll be back in the evening, okay?
Want us to bring you back a souvenir? No, that's okay. All of you coming back home safe is the best gift I could get.
Kia.
My heart. Her smile has pierced my very soul.
The grim atmosphere ran away at the first sight of his smile.
Huh? Have a good day. Be careful.
Zaya has nothing more to say. Well, that's everyone in the SSS. How's Cop? Fumia. Cop is an important part after all. Cop's the progenitor Cop. Right then. Sweepy McDP. Let's begin. Though that's the same. That's the same. Okay. No patrol? Well, I still want to go to some places, because obviously some people will have changed positions. So, like, for example, I could go to the CPD and the police might be back there now. That's probably a fairly big assumption, though. If Speaker Hartman is wanting us here, then does that mean that Mayor McDowell's back in here? No. Maybe Mayor McDowell went home. Or Speaker Campbell, sorry. Hey, you're not back here. Okay, maybe less people have changed positions than we thought they would. Division 2 are out and about. Maybe I am wrong. Well, what quest do I pick first then? We've got to also sweep outwards. But I feel like we should do a request now before doing anything else. We search for an important person, or do we? Well, let's go to Mines Mountain Path and deal with this over here, because we can sweep the cathedral at the same time too. But crazy that we don't actually have another patrol to do. But we do have part of the patrol. But when you think about it, it's barely any people. Which probably means there'll just be a patrol later, right? So what do we want to do again? The cabin next to the graveyard. So it's with you. Lately, I've felt that Crossbell has become more dangerous than in past years. Here at the cathedral, we're responsible for the safety of the children attending Sunday school, so we have to be ever vigilant. Okay, you're saying the same thing. How are these children?
Hey, Tamil, what's the plan today?
Running around is so tiring.
Let's just chat with that one sister instead. We got permission to play here on the days we don't have Sunday school. Plus, it's kind of a waste to have a playground like this and not use it.
This is a playground? Can you play football here? Somehow I feel like that wouldn't be appreciated. When I look at it, there's tons of goalposts.
Tamil and Hamill come here to play quite often, but I admit sometimes I have trouble telling them apart from a distance.
Well, they're twins, right? Identical, I take it. And they're dressed the same, so that doesn't really help you. I can understand the conflict. Archbishop Beralda is also outraged by the incident in the city. He's relieved no one got injured, but having somebody live in fear over a selfish squabble is something he can't tolerate. Actually weirded out by the fact we're not doing a patrol fully. Those mafia lunatics, how could they start a gunfight in the middle of the city? They're absolutely mad! Oh, Adios, please protect us hard-working merchants from the horrible schemes of such wicked men. Praying for something that isn't business success then. The Archbishop is deeply disheartened by the incident in the city. The immoral deeds of the wicked pain him like nothing else. Oh, the mafia have started to move. I'm relieved no citizens got caught up in their antics, but still, such tomfoolery. Oh, Adios, please deliver mankind from the hardships brought by such strife. I take much comfort in knowing that innocent lives weren't involved in the conflict. Oh, Edios, please deliver mankind.
Feel like we've had more people than usual show up to pray today. The commotion over the harbour must have been stirred up some anxiety among those living in the area.
I take it there's not a Sunday school today.
Why, hello, you two. Did something happen? You've got such grave looks on your faces.
Oh no, it's nothing really. We definitely can't bring up the pills we found in Crossbell City.
Is that so? Well, in any event, remember to keep a smile on your face when you're out, no matter how bad things get. Lots of people rely on the special support section. You can't go worrying them with that gloom and doom surrounding you. You have a good point there. Thank you very much for the advice, Sister Marble.
So no matter how bad things get, always remember to smile. That's the lesson we're taught here.